Recording in progress.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lynchburg. We are glad you are here. Whoever you are, whatever your beliefs, whatever your age, whatever your gender identity, and whomever you love, you are welcome here. As we work together for justice, compassion, and peace, we also acknowledge with humility that our buildings sit on traditional Monacan land. My name is Courtney Senna, and I'm your Director of Lifespan Engagement. If you are with us for the first time on Zoom or in the sanctuary, we are glad you chose to be here this morning to participate in the service for this congregation we so love. If you would like to receive our monthly newsletter and Friday email updates, please fill out the virtual visitor card found on our website at uulynchburg.org under Sunday Services, or fill out the yellow card found in the back of the chair in front of you and place it in the offering basket during the offering. Tomorrow evening at Diamond Hill Baptist Church, there will be a service to honor the life and legacy of the Reverend Jesse Jackson at 7 p.m. All are invited to join. Next Sunday, March 1st, we are having Soup Sunday. There's a sign-up sheet in Drysdale Hall if you would like to contribute. And there is also a sign-up Genius link in your email from Friday if you want to sign up to bring something or to help set up or clean up. And we look forward to seeing you all after the service for lunch next week.
So I invite us to release our worries about the world and our own lives as we enter into the service by taking some slow, calming breaths. Here we are together. Zoomies, would you say good morning to the roomies? Roomies, would you say good morning to the Zoomies? It's wonderful to be here together. Let us join together in our unison response for lighting our chalice. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, O Spirit of life. Our opening words come from the Reverend Gretchen Haley. Though you have been warned and given plenty of explanations, reasons to do otherwise, you have persisted to claim a life of joy and justice, to carve out this time, this space for the renewal of your own heart, despite all the reasons, the resistance, fighting for your attention, luring you towards fear. You persist to practice gratitude for this day, this life that has been given, this chance to begin again. And so let us gather that we might offer one another courage, strength, healing, hope, and this promise to persist in kindness, persevere in compassion, and prevail in a life that is more than ourselves. Come, let us worship together. I invite us to rise in body or spirit as we share hymn 295, Sing Out Praises for the Journey. have a fun or an interesting, maybe both, fun and interesting story this
really
week.
Good story this morning. And it's because we've had so many special holidays this week. And so our book is going to focus on one of them, the gift of Ramadan. A rainbow of color winked at Sophia as she handed the Ramadan lights to her mama. These were her favorite decorations because they made her feel as though a special guest was coming. Grandma raised an eyebrow. "Pretty," she said. "Pretty and sparkly, just like the heart of a person who fasts." Sophia stopped twirling. "Really?" she asked. Sophia loved sparkles, glitter, stars, her new ring. It was a gift from Grandma for her birthday last month. Grandma stopped rocking. "Really?" Sophia knew that fasting was to not eat or drink from sun up to sundown. Sophia loved food, but she also loved sparkles. She turned to her mama. "When does Ramadan begin?" Mama opened the curtain. Adam, Sophia's little brother, pointed to the sky. "Moon," he said. "That's right," Mama answered. "See how thin it is?" Sophia nodded. "That's the crescent moon, the beginning of a new month. Tomorrow is the first day of fasting." "Count me in," Sophia grinned. Mama woke Sophia when it was so early, not even the sun was awake. "Time for sahur," she sang. Sophia sat down to a breakfast of eggs, fruit, and Dad's pancakes. But Sophia could barely keep her eyes open. "You have to eat," Grandma told her. "It will chase away the hungries." Sophia reached for a pancake, but a few minutes later, she was sound asleep. "Time's up," Dad said. They got up from the table and unrolled the prayer rugs one by one. Sophia tried her best to stay awake, but the moment her head touched the ground, sleep came over her. Mama reached forward to nudge her, but Grandma waved her finger to say, No, let her sleep." When Sophia woke for the second time, it was almost noon. Her tummy was empty, and her throat was dry. But even drinking water was against the rules. So Sophia decided to stay busy. She read for a while. She organized the clothes in her closet from least to most sparkly. And then she drew. But her tummy gurgled louder and louder. "Shh," Sophia said, "I'm drawing." She glanced down at her papers. "Yikes," she said. "I've got to get out of here."
She's drawing food.
She's drawing food. She's drawn so much food on every one of these pictures.
What's she drawing?
There, I think she's drawing some chocolate chip cookies. And she's got pizza and French fries and lollipops. Sophia found Adam in front of the TV. In his hand was a humongous chocolate chip cookie. He waved it in front of her face and sang, "Me got a cookie, yummy, yum, yum." Sophia's tummy roared. That cookie looked delicious. "Please stop," she said, but Adam kept singing. Sophia clenched her hands. She bit her lip. She wanted to yell. Instead, she ran out of the room, but her brother chased her.
Why did he get a cookie?
Because he is too young to fast, and so he is still allowed to eat. So he's having a cookie right now. But it's probably not very kind to brag to your sister about it when she's so hungry. Adam was fast, but Sophia was faster. Sophia was so fast, she ran out of breath. She needed to hide because Adam was still looking for her. Sophia turned on the light. "Oh no," she thought. "I've really got to get out of here." Yep, she ran into the pantry, but she couldn't. Adam was stomping by, still singing that song. Me got a cookie, yummy, yum, yum. She plugged her ears. She closed her eyes. Sophia took a deep breath, and the scent of chocolate cookies filled her nostrils. Oh, what is this? Asked Grandma. Sophia's eyes drifted to the floor. I got too hungry. I'm sorry. There, my love. No one expects you to fast for an entire day on your first try. Grandma wrapped Sophia in a big hug. There's always tomorrow, and the day after that, and the next. You have a full month to keep trying. Sophia twisted her ring. She wiped away her tears. But I wanted to feel sparkly now, she said. You are sparkly, Grandma said. I can see your sparkles growing every day. Sophia shrugged. She didn't feel very sparkly. And did you know, continued Grandma, there are other ways to celebrate Ramadan? Sophia thought about that. She knew Mama read the Quran. Maybe it gave her head sparkles, but Sophia couldn't read it, not by herself. She had tried. And her dad was always sharing things with family, friends, and strangers. He said that Ramadan was a time for charity, a special kind of sharing for those who need extra help. But Sophia didn't have any money. Sophia was about to give up when she glanced down at Grandma's hands. They were covered in flour. What are you making? She asked. Yummy food for our first iftar, Grandma replied. That is their meal that they get to eat after sundown. That's it, Sophia said. If she couldn't fast, then at least she could help prepare dinner for those who did. And I'm going to help. Sophia put on her apron and got to work. She tossed the salad. Then she helped Grandma make 5 super sparkly pizzas, one for each member of the family. Sophia thought they were sparkly because she put extra cheese on them. Grandma thought they were sparkly because of the fresh parsley that made them shine. When the oven buzzed, Sophia jumped up from her chair. The pizzas were finally done, but when Grandma opened the oven, smoke billowed out. Oh no, Sophia frowned.
Wait, why are only those ones?
The top 3 pizzas were perfect, but the bottom 2 burned to a crisp. Grandma plopped down. She looked exhausted. Iftar was just around the corner. Don't worry, Grandma, said Sophia. I've got this. Really? Asked Grandma. Really, said Sophia. Sophia set the table. She gave each person 1 big bowl of soup and 1 big salad. She placed a pitcher of water and a bowl of dates on the table. Then she asked Grandma to cut up the 3 perfect pizzas. Tiny slices were better than none. Sophia's family gathered around the table. They raised their hands and offered thanks. Then they each drank water and ate a date. When there was only 1 slice of pizza left, Grandma insisted that Sophia take it. Go ahead, you've earned it. No thanks, Sophia smiled. She didn't want any more. She didn't need any more. Her heart and her tummy were wonderfully full. The end. So that book was telling us about what Sophia's first day of her Ramadan month was like. And I really liked how this story showed us how she struggled with trying to follow the rules when she's just now old enough to do it. But Grandma told her she could keep trying.
In Ramadan, everybody in the family and the community supports each other as they're fasting, which is really helpful, especially when you're first learning how to fast.
All right.
So what are y'all doing today?
Well, so we are wrapping up our month of resiliency. And so we have been learning about how we can persevere through hard times, like when it's really hard to do something. and we've been learning how we can overcome hurdles. And so today, we're going to be making emergency resiliency kits that we can take home. And so they're going to be full of things that can help us when we're having a struggle, and we can go to it and find things to help us out.
I'll bet she could have used that.
I
when
think
she
so
was
too.
Hungry.
Yes. Maybe if she builds one, she could put some headphones in hers so she can block out her little brother next time.
Yeah.
I think she would have been okay if she didn't have to hear his song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was still waving it in front.
I know. All right, should we head upstairs?
Yeah.
Let's do
Let's
it.
sing them on their way. Each Sunday, we take an offering of our gifts for the work of our community, both within this building and in the larger world. And so I invite you, as you are so moved, to give generously. Your gifts will be gratefully received. Life and love. We hold up today the wonder and beauty of the world, the chaos and tragedy that sits side by side with all this beauty. We hold up those we love and those we don't even know who are suffering in mind, body, or spirit. May they find healing and wholeness for their soul's highest good. We give thanks for the legacy of Jesse Jackson and so many people whose names we don't know, who are role models and mentors for the future. And we give thanks for our young people who are teaching us the way, what the future can become. We ask for strength and understanding and persistence in this time in the world when we know our voices and our actions are essential to the acts of transformation we need. May we trust that our beloved community is there to support us and help sustain us through all that life brings our way. This we ask in the name of all that is sacred. Amen. This week, we entered an interesting space in the human family. Two of the world's largest religious communities began a period of fasting as part of their religious observances. Christians, as we know, around the world are fasting in preparation for the celebration of Easter. Islam, another of the Abrahamic faiths, is, as we heard earlier, focused on Ramadan, the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, when Muslims fast from first light to sunset as a way to deepen their faith. Perhaps it was my meditation on our theme this month of embodying resilience, or maybe I'm just at a different place in my spiritual life, but I've really been trying to focus on the messages of Ramadan, especially the ones that make me feel uncomfortable. Fasting, meditation, reading the Quran, prayer, and giving to the poor are essential during Ramadan. Fasting during Ramadan is a core tenet of Islam. That means all Muslims are required to fast. The ultimate goal is to surrender to Allah, the name of God in Arabic. During my meditation, which is a nice way of saying I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on in my brain and heart, I focused on the word and practice of surrender. That's been uncomfortable. I am not a surrender kind of person. I don't think I'm alone in my discomfort, because the concept of surrender is contrary to dominant American culture. Even the position in which Muslims pray, when they bow, is contrary to our strong individualism in the American milieu. When Muslims pray, they are in a very vulnerable position. They're kneeling with their forehead on the ground. I thought about doing that this morning, but I'd have to ask somebody to help me up without looking ridiculous, so I decided not to do that. Muslims in that position could not spring up if they were threatened. They're completely vulnerable. Their necks are exposed, like George Floyd's neck. They are surrendering to the will of the Eternal One. I don't think any of us feel comfortable with that kind of vulnerability. We are tough and resilient. I believe resilience is essential to surviving in this world. Actually, I talked about it last Sunday. And yet, the more I dug into my understanding of resilience, the more I found a shadow side to resilience that calls us to humility and the acknowledgement of our mortality. Soraya Chemali speaks of this. She writes, "The idea of resilience is shaped by the highly individualistic nature of our culture. We learn through stories, news headlines, popular movies, educational materials, sports culture, militarism, and more, that individuals suffer, but if strong, persevere, and even grow. We in this culture mainly learn to think that our coping with stress and loss, or adapting to adversity and trauma, is mainly up to us as individuals. But we didn't evolve to survive in this environment as atomistic, separately self-sufficient beings who live in relations of competition and dominance. These are the underlying assumptions of mindset models of resilient strength and mental toughness models. We have a hard time believing that ultimately we're not in control of our lives. We must surrender to life's impermanence. That sounds almost Buddhist. Muslims understand that concept when they pray 5 times a day. We are vulnerable and we are mortal. But let's go back to a core concept in our culture. A few years ago, I attended a lecture at the Parliament of the World's Religions entitled Anatomy of a School Shooter. It was an intense and profound seminar that has stayed with me. Actually, I could do a whole sermon on that, but for another day. The speaker said that one of our vulnerabilities as a nation, especially for young men, and I think it's become more so since I attended the seminar, especially for young men, is the idea that a person is either a hero or a loser. Everyone wants to be a hero, the Lone Ranger or Superman. With this mindset, there isn't much space for making peace with our reality or to surrender. This either or, hero or loser, individualistic mentality is unhealthy for all of us. We live in a complex reality in which we need to let go of society's expectations and find more authentic ways to live. We need to surrender our expectations so that something more grounded and spacious can emerge within us. For Muslims, being willing to surrender to a reality greater than ourselves can help us acknowledge that each of us is vulnerable and that we are called to trust in life's greater good. Now that sounds naive in this time when we wonder how to reclaim our nation and how to support justice and compassion. And yet, we are called to trust in something greater than ourselves. And as you use, this may sound a little uncomfortable because the way we define ultimate reality and where we put our trust is articulated in very different ways. Many of us don't use the G word, God. But we also realize that we are not the pinnacle of creation. We have many names for that which is greater than we are. Whether that name is God, Allah, nature, the cosmos, the sacred unity of all, we have to surrender to life. Neither you nor I are in control of our lives. We are vulnerable and embraced. Ramadan is a time of vulnerability when each person must come to grips with what is in their hearts. During this time of surrender to the ultimate, we are called to step outside our usual understanding of who we are. It is as if something greater is calling to us. The poet Rumi writes about this. Sometimes you hear a voice through the door calling you, as a fish out of water hears the surfs coming back. This turning toward what you love deeply saves you. Read the book of your life that has been given to you. A voice comes to your soul saying, lift your foot, cross over, move into the emptiness of question and answer and question. Whether we fast for Ramadan or Lent, or whether we meditate as we walk or sit, when we listen to the tug of our life calling us to be more, we need to respond. We need to create more space in our lives to empty out ourselves so that something new can enter. What could we do symbolically or literally to make more space, to open up our life, to reflect, connect, question, listen, act? Is there something you've been holding on to, something you need to let go of? Is there a confession you need to make to yourself or another? Is there something or someone you need to forgive? Is there something or someone you need to seek forgiveness from? Is there a truth you need to admit? A decision you need to make? Is there a hand you can hold? How might we fill the space we create in our hearts? We know that what we nurture, what we hold on to, is what our life becomes. Is the cup of our lives full? And what have we filled it with? Have you ever had the experience of someone bumping into you when you're carrying a full cup of coffee? Karen DeWitt talks about this experience. You're holding a cup of coffee. I wouldn't be holding a cup of coffee, but the rest of you probably would. You're holding a cup of coffee when someone comes along and bumps into you or shakes your arm, making you spill coffee everywhere. Why did you spill the coffee? Because someone bumped into me. Wrong answer. You spilled the coffee because there was coffee in your cup. Had there been tea in the cup, which I would have had, you would have spilled tea. Whatever is inside the cup is what will spill out. Therefore, when life comes along and shakes you, as it always will, whatever is inside you will come out. It's easy to fake it until you get rattled. So we have to ask ourselves, what's in my cup? What's in my heart? When life gets tough, what spills over? Joy, gratitude, kindness, peace, humility, or anger, bitterness, victim mentality, meanness. Life provides us the cup. We choose how to fill it. So in this time of surrender and reflection, let us fill the cups of our lives with gratitude, forgiveness, joy, works of justice, compassion, kindness, gentleness, and love of others. This is a season when we can take an important lesson from our Muslim brothers and sisters. We can create the spiritual and emotional space in our lives that we so desperately need. Let us make our own fast, make our own emptying, so the spirit of life can enter our lives. And with humility, let us acknowledge that none of us, not a single one of us, can create a life of love and compassion alone. We are sustained by the community of those who are hungry with us. The search for wisdom, while individual, is sustained by community. This is an essential lesson of Ramadan. We are not alone. We are supported in our inner seeking and our fasting by our community. This reality makes what is difficult possible. In our world, it seems almost essential for us to have a community that can sustain us as we surrender to life's realities. We need one another to help sustain us. During the last couple of weeks, I found a couple of articles in which people talk about creating islands of sanity in our crazy world. I love that phrase. Till Linnon wrote a blog I found useful because I think it proposes a case for the importance of community. From a systems lens, islands of sanity are parts of the system that hold resilience when the rest of the system is out of balance. While we can't stop the collapse of social and ecological systems and their scary implications on our lives, we can create together an island of sanity for ourselves, for the people around us, and for everyone else who needs it. We can create spaces that acknowledge the insanity of the world and help us feel sane again. We can live with generosity, creativity, and kindness, even in the midst of chaos. We can live with love in times of collapse. So in these sacred times when Muslims and Christians are fasting and surrendering to the chaos of the world, we are called to create our island of sanity. This message of hope is found in Ramadan, yes. We must surrender with humility to our vulnerability and our mortality. But we need to always remember that we're not alone. Our faith, our community, our inner strength sustain us. So let us work together. Let us explore together. Let us find a path forward in the world where we can help bring kindness, compassion, mercy, and hope to those who are in need of an island of sanity. Let us rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing hymn, number 213. say goodbye to our roomies in here? Roomies, say goodbye to our Zoomies. It's been wonderful to be together. As our service draws to a close, we extinguish the flame of our chalice as we share these words together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our words of blessing and benediction come from the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Our dreams must be stronger than our memories. We must be pulled by our dreams rather than pushed by our memories. May it be so. Blessed be.